But this won't be on camera. This is just for archiving purposes. So just say your name and spell them both for me, your first and last. Or first, middle, last.
My name is Stephanie Flynn, StephanieFlynn.
And what is your official title in this capacity?
My official title is I'm principal of St. James Catholic School.
Tell me what brings you joy every day.
You can't do that to me.
I'm going to throw you off a little bit. This is just a warm up.
Okay, I'm an introvert and I need time to think. That's my problem.
That's fine. I am too. I am too. So what makes you happy?
When I walk into school every day and I I look off to the side all the time. That's how I am.
It's okay. It's all right. I'll bring you back here if I'll do this. So.
One thing that really brings me joy is coming into school in the morning and greeting the little children and then come running up and grabbing me and saying, "Good morning, sister." Just to see the light in their eyes with the excitement when they come to school makes me very happy.
And not to switch gears too drastically, but what's the most challenging part of your day? And anything you say, you can say, "No, we don't want to use that. Let me do it again." And it can be something that you might think might be trivial to us, but.
Yeah. I think the most challenging part of my day is I have my own list of things that I'm going to do, my own idea of what's on my agenda for the day, and that never works. People come, children come, students come, and it's a constant in and out of dealing with issues and people and good things, hard things. And then at the end of the day, I said, what did I do today? Because my pile of work is still there, but I was busy all day with all kinds of events and people, and I do find that exhausting and challenging sometimes.
I can identify with that. That sounds pretty much like my day, oddly enough.
Like you can see all that over there.
I worked with a fella for a number of years, and he said, you could take every third thing out of there and just throw it in the garbage can and no one would ever know it. I was like, no, I can't work that way.
That's a really good idea.
And he heard that from, he was spent a lot of time in Vietnam, and he had a colonel who operated that way. He says, no one will ever know. It's like, okay.
That's probably very true.
A
lot of what we do is not really.
It's a little unnerving when I think about it, but it is probably true. Okay, as it relates to the Sisters of St. Joseph, so what comes to mind when you think of the Sisters of St. Joseph in particular? What influence?
All right, you're throwing me off here.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I was prepared to answer your questions. They give me all new ones.
Well, it's kind of this. I mean, you can twist it and put it back to.
I'm the one who asked for the questions. Yeah. That was me.
Specifically, it says, "Share with me how and when you were introduced." So it's all the same. What's your story for the sisters? What is your knowledge or experience?
I entered the sisters a little bit older. I was 35. However, I began the search for God at the age of 13. At 13, I realized that God was calling me to a consecrated life, and I pursued that. But I wasn't interested in becoming a sister at that point. And the draw for consecration was very strong all through college and high school and my early years as a professional. And I was a member of a lay association, which also was very into, his mission was education. So the education mission for me has always been very strong. Since I was a small child, I wanted to be a teacher. I never varied from that in all of my years. So I became a teacher and a Teresian at the same time and worked for many years that way. But at one point I went on a mission trip to the Dominican Republic. And there, with the Teresians, I went to visit a Haitian work camp with men and children and adults who are working in the the sugarcane fields there, and they wanted to have a school. They wanted to teach the children to read. And I was like, I can do this. Just right now, bring me a table and chair, and I can teach these children. That's what I do. And since then, there was a draw to work with the Haitian community. At that point, I was living in Massachusetts, and I decided to come down to Florida, Miami, to work with the Haitian community. And I remember asking a friend of mine which school I should go to, and she told me to go to St. Mary's, which is a very Haitian school, and I said, no way. They have nuns there, and I don't want to work with nuns. So and she said, if you want to work with the Haitians, you need to go to St. Mary's. So I came down and I interviewed at St. Mary's, and I had a couple of other interviews set up, but my mother died that morning, and I had to turn right around and go back to Massachusetts at that point, and never got to any of my other interviews. And I took the job at St. Mary's, and I moved to St. Mary's that fall, and the following year I was looking into entering the Sisters of St. Joseph because they staffed the school, and I became aware that my sense of consecration was very strong, my sense of mission and education was very strong, but the piece that was missing was community. And it's like a stool with 3 legs. You need all 3, and that piece was missing for me, and I was looking for that, and that's what drew me to the Sisters of St. Joseph. And so here I am still, 20 some odd years later, working in the Haitian community. I've been in this school for 16 years, and I came back here once I made final vows. I was sent back to Miami, and I've been here serving the community for all that time, and the Lord has been with me. It's been a long road, and I've gone through different places, but I do see the hand of God in all of it, in how I came to be where I am. I call to consecration, my call to service in the Haitian community and education, and the call to community all come together here.
That's wonderful. Are you surprised by it when you look at it?
I remember when I was in formation having to write an autobiography and going through all of that, and I was surprised when I looked at it and saw how the themes were consistent all the way through. I could never see where it was going, but I can see how I was drawn throughout my entire life. It's that old tapestry idea that you don't, when you're making all, you see all the knots on the back, and you turn it over and see the pattern and say, wow, this is beautiful. I didn't see that while I was doing it, and I didn't see it while I was living it. One of the things for me is that I know in a relationship with God that people have different names for God at different times in your life, and then for me, what was God's name for me, and who am I to God? And God's name for me has always been faithful, and being called to faithfulness, and that is the sense of responding to that call on a daily basis. Every day, do the next right thing. Every day, do what God wants. And that's where I see that has been consistent throughout all of it, that responding to that call daily has brought me here and keeps me here.
Sort of revisiting in that moment of thought. So, what is the challenge for you? Is there a challenge every day?
Challenge.
I mean,
the challenge is to get out of the way. The challenge for me every day is for me to get out of the way and let God work through me. Let God speak through me. Let God use my hands, my heart, my eyes, my hand to minister to the people with whom I serve, and not for me, but for them. Our mission is to help people to be united with God and with one another. And in order to do that, I have to get out of the way and be an instrument. And that can be a challenge.
So describe for us this community, this sort of ground zero that you work in every day. Can you describe the people or the culture?
Excuse me. I minister here at St. James Catholic School in Miami. Our school is predominantly Haitian. Our children are either Haitian descent or from Haiti. Some of them came here to us after the earthquake in Haiti in 2010, so some of them are more recent arrivals. And most of the school is Haitian. Most of our students are on scholarship to be here. They Step Up for Student Scholarships, they for low-income children, about 90%.
Hold your thought. Okay. Sorry for that interruption.
Back to my school, okay.
Right.
We have been here at St. James Catholic School for 17 years. I've been here for 16 years, and I've been the principal for 7 years. Our school is comprised mainly of students of Haitian descent and who are low income on Step Up for Student Scholarships. 90% of our students qualify for free or reduced lunch. They have many challenges. They face many challenges on a daily basis. I have a student who lives in a homeless shelter right now. But we welcome them here every morning to try and help them to grow in their faith, in their academics, to help them live strong, productive, faith-filled lives. That's what we do here. The mission of our school is to provide a quality education in a gospel-centered atmosphere, which we do. Our school was ready to close when we came. We worked tirelessly or tiringly, I don't know, for the last 17 years to bring it to where it is today. We're a well-known school in the Diocese of Miami for what we do here. Our children are happy, our families are happy, our children do well. We've grown. We are full. We have a waiting list in our school. It's very hard to get into St. James. We have adopted a partner school 3 miles away. Our dear neighbor, the Sisters St. Joseph, are very much into helping the dear neighbor, and our dear neighbor school is in need of strong leadership this year, and so the Archdiocese asked us to step in and help, and we're doing that. We're providing leadership over there and trying to bring them with us. They're the same community of people that we deal with here. So we're now partner schools. So our mission has broadened in the past few months, and anyone who wants to come help would be greatly appreciated. To come help us here, helping our dear neighbor in Miami.
Is it ever daunting?
Oh, it's always a very daunting task. Every morning when I look out at the 400 children in the school and say, wow, and I thank the parents for the trust they place in us to educate their children, and that is a awesome responsibility. We hold all of these lives in our hands every day, and we couldn't do it without the hand of God holding all of it. We pray the guardian angel prayer every morning to protect us and take care of us, and for God to be with us, because without God, we can do nothing.
Talk a little bit about the character building that you do here, even if you just state it in that kind of way, that you try to build the characters of these children beyond the academics. Because you and I talked about that.
And I'm trying to say in a way that's not offensive.
Right.
Well, and I
Yeah.
don't think it would be offensive because it's a part of education, but it's a part of education that only nuns do. I'm telling you, only nuns
We're concerned with the whole person.
do. Say that.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes.
Sure. And it can relate to any upbringing of any child. So.
That is true. Here at St. James, we are concerned with the education of the whole child. We educate them academically, intellectually, physically, spiritually, socially. We work on manners. We work on honesty, responsibility, character. We firmly believe in, we do so much more than just reading, writing, and math. It's his environment. And one of the special things about St. James is our children, our families considered a family environment. Everyone feels at home. We build with a very strong support of the parents here on the foundation they lay at home. And we focus on, sometimes people think we're picky about little things, but we are. And one of my theories of education is that if we have them focusing on the little things, they can't get into big trouble because they have to worry about, are they wearing the right socks, or are they doing the right thing, and practicing their manners every day. That we have a culture here at St. James, and we work very hard to preserve it.
Okay, so when we talk about vocations, I know we talked off record yesterday.
Did we? I don't remember saying anything.
A little bit.
I didn't think I said a word.
So what are your thoughts sort of everyday kind of present about the future and vocations. And how does that world maybe for the future sort of, how is that working with associates? You know, how does that parlay? And just your general thoughts about it, wherever it takes you.
I believe our charism is very needed in the world today. Our charism in promoting union with God and neighbor with neighbor. There's so much strife and difficulty and differences, conflict in the world today that our charism is very, very needed. How that's going to come to be, I don't know. I'm not a prophet. I leave that in the hands of God. For me, I am called to live every day doing what I can, responding to God in my mission. Are there people called to religious life today? I believe so. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, well, that's all
Yeah.
100% usable. But
Because Sister Barbara said something, you know, you're after the hidden saint, and you're so
That
well
is
hidden
true.
that people don't know.
People
you're
don't know who
hidden.
we are.
So speak a little bit about that they don't know who you are, and that they're missing a chance.
I don't know. Well, we are the Sisters of St. Joseph, and St. Joseph was quiet, worked behind the scenes, and took care of Jesus and helped to raise him, and that's what we do. We don't go seeking acknowledgement or people to know who we are or what we're doing. We just keep doing it every day. We do the daily living out of God's will, and sometimes that gets lost. In this world of lots of media attention, we're more quiet, behind the scenes. In fact, one of our maxims is to advance good works until near the completion and let someone else finish and take the glory for them, because we don't want to take the glory for what we do. And that's, in the state of Florida, we've started so many schools and hospitals. We are the one, we began all of this when we leave it to other people to grow. And perhaps in the future, a lot of what we have to do has to be taken by our associates, our lay members, to move forward with the seeds that we plant.
yeah. So if you could think about, you know, if we were just walking around with a camera, what would we see on a typical day, you know, from the start?
And maybe
Drop off.
maybe the beginning statement is, every morning we, and then you finish it.
So you don't want me to start at home? Want me to start here?
Here. No, you can start at home with Mass. Start at home with the sisters. Start with Mass. That's fabulous.
Okay. Okay. Every day, my day begins around 5 a.m. when I get up and I take my own personal prayer and reflection time from about 5 to 6:30 or so. A couple of days a week, the pastor comes over and we have Mass. We gather as a community to celebrate the Eucharist together. And then we disperse to our various ministries. Sister Kathleen and I come here, and Sister Mary goes to Holy Family, and Sister Elizabeth goes to the Archdiocese. When I arrive to school, I never know what's coming. I put my hand in that door with all kinds of ideas in my head of what's going to be the day, but that's usually not the day. We come out, we gather in the morning as a school to pray together. We pledge allegiance to the flag. We offer God all of our work for the day and ask him to watch over us and to guide us and to help us. We sometimes have a few announcements for what's happening for the day, and some inspirational words for them to get them on their way, and then they all go off to their classrooms, and I breathe a sigh of relief and say, okay, now let's begin. And then who knows, and walk in the office and who's there or what's there. I can be anything from a parent telling me, oh, thank you, or to a child telling me somebody just died, or to please pray for this, or I walk down the hall and run into children all day long. They think I know everything about them. Tell me their stories, and we make connections. So I spend most of my day responding to whatever need arises. And in the afternoon, we go out again. The children pray together in the classrooms, and I greet them at the gate. As I greeted them in the morning, I say goodbye in the afternoon, standing at the gate, wishing them well for the evening and greeting the parents. And then when we closed the gate, again, I breathe a sigh of relief. Now all was well, and come back to the office to see what I didn't do that I was supposed to do all day. And I usually go home around 5 o'clock, and we have dinner and prayers as a community. However, during dinner, I'm getting my texts telling me that aftercare is over and the children have gone home, and then I really breathe a sigh of relief. The day is done. The children have gone home, and we have done well, and I thank God for His loving care all day long. But the day is basically spent responding to whatever need happens to arise. It's really a wonderful thing to encounter God in the eyes of the children. I meet God there daily and hundreds of times, and that is sometimes it's a challenge when a child is not behaving properly, but other times it's so easy to know how much God loves us when the child comes and wraps their arms around you and said, "Good morning, sister." It can make my day, or it can make a moment, it can make a day. And right now my heart is beating really fast. I get palpitations.
It really is.
Our children are beautiful.
And I don't want to say this, but they are.
They are.
And I mean, I'm old, and I had a bunch of kids within a bunch of schools, and I have never seen a spirit like this ever anywhere. And it is.
We are
why-
home. It's home here.
It is.
It's
And-
because it's so unfiltered and raw and real. Some kids get jaded over time, or they have,
They're grateful.
Our
Yeah.
children love school.
okay, let's see, that's rare.
They want to be here on vacations. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, great, I get to sleep in," but then they get bored. They want to be here. They want to be with their friends. They want to experience every day. Like, vacations are too long. They want to come back.
It's wonderful.
Can you talk just a little bit about the support you get from the parents, the dads? If you can go into the dad area a little bit, that would be, I think, because it's very unique here. In the balance of the Haitian family, the fathers are very involved and very committed. And they will come and they will be here for their children.
Oh, they will. Our parents will come. We have very supportive parents here at St. James. Education is a strong value in the Haitian community. It's the three most important things are God, education, and family. And you make sure. That's one of the things at St. James. We understand that, and so we work with that. Our parents, if I call a parent, they come within 20 minutes. They're here, generally, to find out, to help us, whatever. No, that's bad. To help us in whatever way that they can. We see parents every morning, every afternoon. We have many, many fathers who come in. The presence of the father in the family is very important to the children, and the parents are very involved. As much as they can. They work very hard. Many have 2 jobs, go to school, but still, being at school and finding out how their children do school is extremely important. And I rarely run into a parent who is not supportive of us.
What haven't we asked you? What is the hidden pearl here that we don't know?
I've given you all the pearls.
Is there a little story?
A story of what?
Something, if there was one story you could tell, an interaction with a child or a situation that,
Or a classroom?
that just sort of lingers with you.
She's a storyteller. I'm not the storyteller.
Okay.
I'm not a storyteller.
What about the moose thing? Did you
I'll give a moose muffin.
talk a little bit about how that went?
We about a month ago, we had Literacy Day here. International Literacy Day was celebrated at St. James Catholic School, and one of the things we did was we had mystery readers, and I went around and read stories in a number of classrooms. One of the most fun one was when I went to the pre-kindergarten. I went to the pre-kindergarten to read If You Give a Moose a Muffin. I actually had a moose that I bought to bring, and we left it in the classroom. So I read the story, If You Give a Moose a Muffin, to them, and it's a very predictable story, and events happen, and the children got very involved in it. We named the moose Muffin actually is his name now, and we left him in the classroom. And now every day, and when I counter the pre-kindergarten, on the way to lunch, the way back from lunch in the classroom, somebody will come running up to me and grab me and say, if you give a moose a muffin, don't ever give a moose a muffin. And then we launch into the story again. But it's a connection that we have now, and I can imagine that when they're in 8th grade, they're going to be saying, if you give a moose a muffin, sister, don't give a moose a muffin. It's important to build those relationships from the time when they're little. I see them now in 8th grade, other students in 8th grade that I've known since before they were born. I've known their mothers when they were carrying them, and it's very hard to get away with anything when I've known you all your life. So it's part of the family spirit here, and I still see my big, tall 8th graders as little ones. In fact, a parent came in this morning who I taught in the 8th grade, and he's not the parent. He's the brother of a child who's in pre-K, but he's going to be a father soon, and he was talking about becoming a father and how excited he was at that. And so I'm going to have another grandchild. We do have a couple of grandchildren here at St. James who are children of our alumni who have brought their children back to experience what they experienced here. And I see the parents in the children. So we're working with generations of children here, and it's very rewarding that way. It's beautiful.
One other thing you need to talk about is the fact that even though they're so poor, they've achieved all these academic excellence awards. Even though all the chips are against them, they are still #1 in whatever areas they are in. So those pictures you sent me last year of them winning the...
Oh, we won the Academic Olympics.
Talk about the Academic Olympics. There you go.
Yes. How do you say that?
Even though
Many of our children face a lot of challenges in their lives in terms of language and poverty and broken homes, and coming to St. James helps them because we're a very stable family environment here, and they feel very secure, and they grow spiritually, they grow academically, and they do well. One thing the high schools tell us is that our children are ready for high school when they get there. They do well. Last year we won the Academic Olympics for the 3rd or 4th time in Archbishop Curley Notre Dame High School. We won the Academic Olympics, and we compete against many schools that way. And it's very exciting to watch them succeed. And as they go on to high school, and they come back and visit us, and they come back from college and visit us, and they're doing well, and they thank us for giving them the foundation that they needed to build on. And despite all of the challenges in their life, they value education, our students, and they're going to go forward. We start at the very little ones with, where are you going to go to college? when they're in kindergarten, where are you going to go to college? And we have to keep spurring them on. So we welcome them back all the time, and I want to hear about their successes. I have a brag book out in the office of the honors and things that they've won when they go to high school and college. One of our students was a valedictorian of a local high school a few years back. And another one's salutatorian a few years back. So I'm very proud of our students. They work hard and they do well. We work hard too.
I can tell.